You were all waiting for the bass drop there, weren't you? You were? I know you were. Because I was as well. But the issue with that is we can't always get what we want. And we can't always have what we've been hoping for. And I got banned? And when you're looking at this, you must think, oh, you must have done something bad. You must have... Whoa, being banned from things is a really bad thing, right? Depends on your opinion. Obviously, not been banned on YouTube, not been banned on Twitch. So I'm going to run through what exactly happened. I'm going to run through a bunch of things. I've got a bunch of banners and everything prepared, and then we'll just have a little bit of a natter with the chat. This isn't any drama stuff. This is just I wanted to stream a thing today, and I thought this was something interesting that I could hop into a different conversation that I think needs to be had a little bit more often when it comes to YouTube and stuff. So, what actually happened was there was a stream going on yesterday on KG's channel in which he was discussing the fact that Melier is reportedly wanting a release clause when he gets a contract redone, and Pat Bamford is apparently going to be up for contract renewal. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to hop over to that. I'm going to see what's going on because I've done a reporty thing on this, but I want to see what the general conversation is. And I hop in, and I hear the words when talking about Melier and the fact that Melier is going to want to sort of protect his value and stuff like that, and people see Melier as valuable. I hear the words, facts don't care about your feelings. And I'm like, cool, okay, I'll assemble some facts. Then, when it gets onto the Bamford conversation, we're getting a hell of a lot of KG's standard view on Patrick Bamford, being that he is apparently not very good at football. And I'm thinking, I have facts. Therefore, facts don't care about feelings. Thus, I post some facts in the chat. I post the facts, including the fact that from January to April last season, when Patrick Bamford was in the team, we didn't lose a single match. Well, sorry, it might have been when Patrick Bamford started a match. We didn't lose a match. Add on to that combining all competitions last season, Patrick Bamford scored the most goals per 90 of anyone in the Leeds United squad. And I'm thinking these are good facts. These are interesting facts. Nothing bad. There is no actual drama. It's all good. I thought it's like a fun little point for conversation. And I post this, and I see KG stop, read the message, chuckle to himself and say, see, this is what they do. And then suddenly, my message is gone. And the messages prior are gone. I've been banned. So, the question that I had was, I thought facts didn't care too much about feelings. Why has there been a ban? And it's wild. Because this is, I think, a very short-form way of putting this. KG doesn't like Bamford. Because I haven't had the chance to watch much of KG stuff. I've dipped in here and there, but there is a lot of stuff on YouTube, and there is a lot of stuff that I make on YouTube. So I spend more time making stuff than watching stuff, and the people that I do watch are people that I tend to know because support your mates and all that sort of stuff. And I've learned now that KG doesn't particularly like Bamford because apparently there's a sort of ongoing trend where if you post something positive about Pat Bamford, you get a ban. So that happened. And I see that that's happened now. 1 second, I need to reply to a message. And yeah, I'm like, okay, cool, I've been banned. And when it comes to a question of how exactly do I feel, it's fine. I don't particularly care either way. I can still watch the streams if I fancy popping in and saying hello. Well, I can't say hello, but I can pop in and watch the streams. Just all sorts, you know. Keyboard is loud, motherfucker. Right, okay, that's fine. That one I was deliberately typing quite loud because I needed to type fast. It does have a quiet type as well, which is good. And I forgot to turn off my noise cancellation on my audio, so I'm going to fix that. There we go. That'll fix things. So in terms of how I feel, it's fine. It happens. People get banned for all sorts of reasons all the time. but I'll go into a little bit more detail on that one a little bit later because I'm going to talk about how exactly I'm going to do bans and stuff on my channel going forwards. But this sort of in my head prompted a little bit of something else, prompted a few queries that I had, not even just about YouTube and Leeds United YouTube, but the sort of wider world. And the question that I had is, what's the internet for? Because you're looking at it, and the internet is a big old tool, a big resource that people have available to them, and you can dip in left, right, and center and just pick up bits of information that you might have any interest in, and you can just have conversations with everyone all over the world, and it's fantastic, and it's brilliant, and it's nice, and it's fun. But you don't get that whenever any form of dissenting voice from the outside is shut down before you're able to hear it. You don't learn things if you're refusing to take in any information that isn't already in your head. It's like Andy said here, the internet is for communication and learning. Slight issue comes in when, if there's a point that you disagree with, you cut off communication, which means that you can't get new information, and new information is what people learn from. And it feels like a thing that's becoming far too common, just not even necessarily on individual YouTube channels. Again, there's no beef or anything. I just thought this was an interesting point. That's becoming a little bit more and more lost, and people being sort of removed from conversation, not because they've done anything actively wrong, but because there's been a disagreement. And I feel like that's very weird. And this has taken me to a space where you need to talk a little bit about safe spaces. Now, in this case, I'm not talking like safe spaces, as in the way that a lot of people picture them. It's not a, you disagree with my internet community, grr, get out. I'm talking about literal ones in which actual people that are victims of crimes and stuff are able to discuss that and have this conversation themselves, which is fine. Having a safe space is fine, but when it becomes a heavily opinion-based safe space, it's no longer a safe space in general, it is a echo chamber. It's a space in which you personally feel like you can just say your opinion and all that bounces back is your own opinion again. And that's not healthy for anyone, because you look at various bits of news and social media and around the world, and the vast bulk of what people have sort of started to do, and this is sort of a natural thing that comes with social media and stuff anyway, is people will solely. Oh, there goes my camera. I've been safe spaced by my own technology. 1 second. Oh dear. Bloody hell. I was on a roll then as well. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Cool. I'll switch my camera back on in a second and we will be fixed. Hey! And yeah, when it sort of devolves from, there is a genuine risk if we discuss things outside of this area because you might be discussing like being a victim of something, and slides into that echo chamber mentality, social media already does that. Because the people that you follow on social media, you have chosen to follow them because you already know what they think. And you already know what they say, you know how they say it. So naturally, you've built up this own chamber of your own, which is weird, right? It's very weird that you can just sort of build an orb in which dissenting opinions don't come in, which is why, like, on Twitter and stuff, I will actively go out of my way to follow the likes of Donald Trump, because I might disagree with him on absolutely everything, but you still need to hear the opinions of the people that you disagree with. I think the moment something becomes a colossal echo chamber and it builds and it builds and it snowballs and it snowballs, and eventually you sort of radicalize yourself with the opinion that you've already gotten because you're not letting the other ones come in, that's where a little bit of a problem kicks in. It's where there's a big ol' issue. And I think that happening is sort of a bad thing, which is why I'm going to sort of adjust the way that I do my approach to my own YouTube stuff right now. Because I've realized that in the past I might have banned people for disagreeing with me, and then I went through this entire thought process and I was like, right, okay, cool. So I don't agree with the way that this has worked, but I've done it a couple of times in the past, so I'm going to stop doing it myself now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself some firm rules and say, fans for opinion, not going to happen. Completely fine. Just say whatever you like, unless it's like hate crimey. Let's not do hate crimes. Let's not do political violence. You know what I mean. In terms of footballing, sporting opinion, fine, sod it, say it. 99% of the time, I'm going to be wrong. And I'm going to need information from outside to tell me that I am wrong. And that's okay. I will listen to that information from the outside. I'm also going to skip that ad because I don't think I necessarily should be doing that when I'm about to get to sort of the crux of what I'm saying. Back to it. Instead, it's going to be a case of only if you're abusive and stuff like that will I time people out, will I ban them? Even 90% of the time, I'll be like, right, okay, bit of a warning. That's not how we do things here. There was one time someone was being real misogynistic in the chat, and I was like, okay, don't say things like that at all. Call this a warning. Next time, you're gone. And he doubled down on it in a reply to me, which was like, this is brave. I admire your ability to be vicious, but fair enough. Yeah, this one, Mr. Dodo, is the way that I'd phrase it. That's excellently phrased. No slurs, no hate crimes, don't be a dickhead. Perfect. And it sort of opens up that sort of ability to learn from things and people, which is fine. But I'm going to end the opening segment of this stream with something simple. I'm going to end the opening segment of this stream not going into my approach on things, but doing something that I've not necessarily done before. You see, I am confident in my opinions on Patrick Bamford. I'm confident that when you look into the numbers and everything, very good player. Yeah, injury prone, that's completely fine. I agree with Evie on that one, because availability is almost as important as skills and talent and stuff. And I'm happy to have a conversation on that. I'm happy to have a conversation on absolutely everything. Which is why I'm happy to have a conversation with KG. If you are so if you are so confident in your opinions on Patrick Bamford, and you believe that you are 100% right, and you believe that we are a worse squad with him in the team, that we are a worse club with him around, let's have that conversation. Let's have that discussion. Come on board. We'll have a chat about it. Because I think if we open each other up to our opinions like the internet is designed to do, then at the end of the day, we're both going to learn something. At the very least, we'll learn each other's perspectives. And when it comes to it, one of us might change our mind. So if you fancy, hop on board. I'm available everywhere, and I've not banned you from my YouTube channel. And that is going to be the end of the opening segment of the stream. But we'll have a little bit more of a chat about absolutely everything, which I think is going to be quite good. I'll pop open a questions corner thing, just because it's quite good to have questions corner. Sorry, I need to do a favour for Kayla in a few minutes. And yeah, let's have that conversation. Let's see where we land. I think it's going to be a good conversation to have, and I think at the end of the day, at the very least, it'll be fun. You know, I think that could be a good conversation to have. I'm going to hop through some comments though. I'm going to start with the more recent ones. I do not usually ignore you on purpose. Normally, I get to as many comments and stuff as I can. I tend to sort of prioritize member ones, which is why normally I would focus on yours if I see it. But I guess sometimes I just don't see it. I am sorry. I will keep an eye out in the future. Bamford sucks to me, but people can have their opinions. KG looks stupid for this, especially banning a content creator that's not toxic on me at all. I mean, he can do what he wants at the end of the day. Like, it's KG's channel. It's not a problem. I don't mind. It's more of a sort of confusing thing. It's like YouTube exists for, rather than big media organizations to be the core of every single conversation. Social media exists to make media social, to expand the conversation. And if you are just refusing to take part in the conversation, what's the point? You know? And I'm not denying that he's a top man. It's a little bit weird that, like, disagreement, ban. What? I'm so confused. I don't understand. On this one, basically, KG did a stream yesterday, which I popped into because I was like, oh, this could be interesting. I heard on discussion about Melier, facts don't care about your feelings, and I was like, this is going to get a bit bad for Bamford. I'll prepare a couple of facts. I posted a comment featuring said facts, and then my comments disappeared. Which is like, they either do or don't care about your feelings, but it's a bit of a weird one. What does the title mean you got banned on what? Just explained. KG's channel. As I've mentioned repeatedly, not actually a problem. It's just I thought it'd be an interesting start to a bit of conversation, you know. My opinion with Bamford's his age, if he was playing like he is now at 23, 24, I'd be a lot more forgiving, but at 31, I'd be expecting a higher output. I don't think output's the problem. Output, in my opinion, is fine. It's availability that's the issue. Because the issue with Bamford, and it's a thing that I've been saying a bit recently, is that absolutely every single player in the Championship is bad for something or bad at something. There is a reason that they're not in the Premier League. And for Bamford, it's injuries. The issue with, let's run through it, Manor Solomon, injuries. Aronson, strength. Dan James, a little bit in the Premier League, which completely understandable. I can see why Premier League clubs haven't invested in those players. And that's why I believe Bamford's still in the Championship. But who knows? In terms of output itself, per 90 top scorer of the Leeds United squad last season in all competitions, outperforming Cree even, which is not a bad place to be, you know. It's a good spot to be in. This is with 590s or something, so it's actually reasonable. It's nothing new in channel, as viewers are aware of this. I'm not that often of a viewer. I've said I can't watch that much stuff because I've got non-Leeds things I like to watch in addition to Leeds things that I. But I tend to be in a sort of support the people that are close to you stuff on YouTube, and I've never really had the chance to chat to KG, so you never know. Unfortunately, Bamford is not going to peak again at his age. He's not the same player he was a couple of seasons ago. That's true, yeah. I think the injuries might have hampered that in some level, but I don't know. Joe Wegman gets friends constantly for his opinions, only ever bans people for out of context, egregious shit that could get him striked on YouTube, and even then it's very rare. Yeah, that's the sort of stance that I want to be taking going forwards. I want to sort of make things more of a you need to be a dick to get banned. Or actively annoying. You might not actively do a hate crime, but if you're just trying to deliberately irritate a person, then you can get timed out. But you know what I mean. On that note, I was on a Twitch stream yesterday, and it was brought to my attention that I could do with more moderators as part of the gang. So Danny is now a mod, which is very, very helpful. I've been planning on doing that for a few days, to be honest with you, but who knows? Why is there a problem with us all having our own say on here? There isn't. Just say what you fancy. Has KG banned you full stop? I don't know. I've not popped back. I don't know if I've been hidden from channel or something, but I don't know. It'd be nice to be able to have those conversations, but who knows? All I asked was a question about someone. Fair enough. Is Joseph will be many his favorite player. I think so, and I think he'll get into that place where he is one of the beloved players in the Leeds United squad. It's just about getting himself into that position, you know. Talking of Joe, is he okay being quiet on here? I believe so. I think being the international break, it's a good time to go relatively quiet because there's not much going on anyway, and it's hard to have actual breaks when you're doing YouTubey stuff. Because YouTube stuff, horrible for mental health and stuff. Absolutely dreadful. um, which isn't good. Like, hold on. Sorry, needed to reply to Kayla. But yeah, I reckon he's fine. On this one, I saw that you deleted the comment. I feel like you commented this before you heard my thing where he had the highest strike rate last season. Um, so that's facts. Enjoy that. You deserve love and respect for talking about this. Good to have opinions and discuss points we agree with. I'm glad you said this. It's all right. Fair enough. Bumper swearing, racism, violence, threats, rude to women, and feminine. What? What? I'm confused. No more for me. I'm going to complete power trip. Honest. Maybe I was considering it, but maybe you've just mentioned the words power trip, so maybe it just got less likely. I don't know. Why is clickbaiting? I thought it was in America. Is clickbaiting? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at his Twitter. Not tweeted anything. Is it on Instagram? I'm gonna need. Oh, click. Fucking fine. It's a clickbait pun. I'm stupid. Bollocks. Can't disagree with stats and facts. You kind of can. You can disagree with which are important, but yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know. Sick of Mickey Mouse internationals and worst friendlies disrupting the season. I would like my football back, please, because I'd like to make some fucking content. And I'd like to stop hemorrhaging subscribers as well, please. Thank you, YouTube, because I have now lost 20 since the start of the international break, which is kind of devastating. And at first, I thought it was because of my pretty bad hot take that, I'm going to be clear, not actually a take I 100% back. I hammed it up a little bit for content. But yeah, even then. Shit, I've lost a lot of things. Last I saw he was off to the doctors and playing FM Live. Has he played FM Live without me? That backstabber. All the managers love Bamford. I don't know why. I'm guessing because managers see a lot more football than we do, and therefore have some reason to think, actually, maybe not too bad. But I don't know. Right, I'm going to scroll most of the way to the bottom. He does it on Josie's a good mod. I know. However, he did just threaten to do malarkey, so that has ruined his argument. Also, it's suggesting that I do an advert now. I'm going to click the do an advert button, but as always, I'm going to suggest the way to get rid of it quickly is click on it, swipe off, it'll bring you right back to the video. I learn more, the advertiser will have to pay more, and you will be back faster. That was fast. Jesus. Where are we? Cage doesn't like Bamford. I noticed this. Bots while getting banned. Who is bots? YouTube regularly got steady accounts. I know they do, but at the same time, they didn't have to do it just then. Not a fan of the old guard either. Why? I thought that's the. Oh, I don't understand. It confuses me, man. Can't wait for football to restart again. I miss Leeds. I also miss Leeds. Champman will always be the elite of manager games. I just back FM in general. It's great. Saw just showing the chip shop the other day. He looked tired because YouTube is tiring, man. It's exhausted. Malarkey, nefariousness, and a little bit of silliness only. On this one, basically, what's a 10-minute description? Hold on, I'll set a timer. And I'll try and get it done in a matter of moments. Timer. I need to make a new timer. Shit. 10 seconds. Cool. Okay. Don't start it now. So, 10-second timer. That's reflecting real badly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play and then I'm going to explain. So basically, I saw that KG was doing a stream about Bamford potentially getting a contract renewal. I figured I'd pop in there, post a couple of stats about Pat Bamford. I got banned. I'm just using that as a launching tool to have more conversation about the idea of banning people online being bad. That's it. That's the 10-second rundown. That was a lot of words for 10 seconds. Jesus Christ. Ah! Future reference, don't give me mod, I won't be here enough. That's fine. Not a bad lad, but you got to lighten up, not take things too literally, understand irony and sarcasm. I am what? I focus on vibes, man. How am I not vibes? Oh, don't worry. I have said many a time. It's not like a personal thing. It's a, I don't understand why you're doing this thing. Because at the same time, even from like a YouTube perspective, like if you're on YouTube, naturally you want to grow, right? So how if you're putting up a wall, people can't get in as well as you chucking people out. And it's a bit like this is you don't the number doesn't go up. It's confusing. It's baffling. On this one, it's not that bad. It's genuinely fine. I've not taken it personally or anything. I just thought it'd be an interesting like jumping on point for that conversation about safe spaces and echo chambers becoming weird. On that note, by the way, if anyone at any point accuses me of doing echo chambery stuff, one, tell me. Two, I have firmly different opinions to Locks on quite a lot of things, and the fact that we have just had like cordial conversations about that sort of stuff, I feel like would be telling. And I'm sure Locks can agree with me the extent to which we disagree politically on lots of stuff. But it's fine because it's like, well, you might just disagree. It's okay. It's not a problem. All is chill. All is vibe. Maybe ban me for being a Leicester City fan. No, because if I ban you, we don't get to see the head loss when you get relegated. That's it. There we go. I can have a chat with Wokey Joe anytime. Thank you, by the way, Jason, for becoming a new member. Share, like, and subscribe, by the way. You could be a good book reading, great voice. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's made me really happy. Thank you. I thought that was, it's made me all smiley. But I'm very glad to hear it. Also, thank you very much, Football Guru, for gifting a membership. It's massively appreciated. And it's gone to Tom MOD, which is not a bad place for it to go. Once I can go reply to Joe for something. I can't believe you called me Wokey Joe. I've never been called that before. Hello, Noel. 1 second, I've just got to type something. I need to go back and clip me doing a challenge to KG, don't I? The only real time it's acceptable to block someone is if they're being abusive or spawning anything other than that is blatant ignorance. I think the spot that I'm in on that is like if you're banning someone for disagreement, you're just sort of limiting your own growth both mentally and YouTubey. I don't know, but it's fun. I think Joe's blocked me because I didn't agree with it. I'm reading your words. What? Do you mean me, Joe, or other Joe? Oh, the Joe. Okay. I've been banned from every forum going and Twitter because of my opinions on Leeds United. How have you gotten banned from Twitter? How have you gotten banned from Elon Musk's Twitter? The man. What? Twitter right now has absolutely everything on it. It is a wild west of bad opinions. How do you get banned from that one? God, madness. You can do what you want on your own channel. People get bored of repeating themselves. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just sort of questioning, like, why you would sort of slam those doors. I don't see the advantage to it, but it's okay. Other joke. Okay. I thought with Connor it'll get you on with KG for a live session. Um, People spam Connor's Twitter, and let's have that but let's have the Bamford debate. Why not? Yeah, don't spam people. It's rude. Oh, thank you. People don't have an opinion in the stream with the most point of having one doesn't mean that all his opinions are right and ours are wrong. Yeah, that's part of why I prefer doing streams to videos now anyway, because it's like, well, I might as well learn outside my own perspective, right? Because who benefits by staying in a bubble? No one, except Sandy from SpongeBob. Many, yeah. And I still think it was a bit of an odd debate to have. But disagreeing is fine, and that's okay. Holy! Thank you, Andy S, for gifting 5 memberships. That is massively appreciated. And they have gone to Noel, yourself, KMPLC, Nikki LUFC 8823, and Bob and Yeti LUFC. Which, fantastic. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Say that 5 times fast. I will try and read what Locke said 5 times fast. Are other Joe the wokey but not as wokey as wokey Jojo? Are the other Joe the wokey but not as wokey as wokey Jojo? I'm not going to do it 5 times, but I've done it twice and I didn't make any mistakes. I'm going to count it. You think Graham Smith reported you? Reported you for what? What did you do? I think if you've been... What? I feel like you weren't banned from Twitter for defending Marcelo Bielsa. I feel like there's maybe something beyond that. But it's definitely an interesting take. Memberships coming from Chicago, expat from Castleford. The only thing I know about Chicago is CM Punk's great. That's it. That's all I've got. I'm sorry. I know. That's my bad. But CM Punk's fantastic. It was one for wanting Grayson and McDermott, so I've read that one. Prefer Leeds streams. Facts and stats were good enough, so I prefer your channel. The like all you want these lately. Yeah. Joe is great. Basically, most people in the Leeds space are great, and I'm sure that if I had a chat with KG, then he would also be great. But it's like, I just want to have the conversation, god damn it. No ban facts are facts. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's complex, isn't it? I think so. I've not double checked. I might do it at some point, but we'll see. Opinions like ourselves, everyone has one, but most people won't like it. Counterpoint. I think everyone likes the fact that people have arseholes, because if not, they wouldn't poop. And if you don't poop, you burst. And I think that's more messy. Because like poop is more like manageable. Like we can have sewers for that, but if people are just bang, spontaneously combusting, that's a bigger problem, in my opinion. I like that people have bums, and that's where I'm going to be leaving that very weird tangent of conversation. Yeah, Lockie's fantastic. Basically, yes, every Leeds content creator is brilliant. It's wonderful. What does gifting membership really mean in a nutshell? How do I explain it? Basically, you know how you can be a YouTube channel member? But you can do it for other people. So the creator will receive the revenue from, in this case, 5 memberships, and 5 random members of the community will get memberships, which is nice. It's good. It's fun. It's enjoyable. No one clip this. Don't clip it. That would be rude. There's one thing I've wanted you guys to clip, and I've not seen it be clipped. I want less to play Leeds in the Cup this year, so we can find an excuse to get on my channel. Right, okay, I've worked it out. I've done it. I've done it. I've worked it out. What we can do is you can do a series of keeping an eye on where you're going to be next season, and we'll just tell you what's going on in the championship. That'd do it. I do. You'll never learn anything with only your mouth open and too many people try to shout the loudest. Yeah, that's why I sort of aim for quiet. Plus, like, if you're in an argument with someone, and it's something that I learned from the TV show Community, and I'm going to do a quick little banner demonstration of how you win arguments with people, because it's fantastic. It's great. So, if I open up this, if I go with a black pen, so could I be randomly selected for gift membership? I think so. Yeah, I think it's at random. Present the time. Cool. So, the secret hack to winning an argument with anyone is let them go first. Listen to what they say, right? And what they will basically do is they will create an idea of what they are calling the truth. And do what you can to just get them to define what the truth is. Get them to say, okay, anything within this circle is true. Great. And then from this point, you can go, well, this thing over here, this is also true. So it's not just anything within the circle that's true. And there's this little bit of circle here. The little bit of circle here, there's a problem with that. And you just sort of make them contain themselves for an argument, and that really, like, helps you quite a lot. Because it's like you make them argue against their own points, and once they're doing that, they sort of start to question their initial points, which is good. It's great fun. That's a thing that I learned from the TV show Community, and I used a hell of a lot in various politics degree things. Yeah, sure, I guess. There's nothing new there, but thank you for. I don't. You're. If you think I'm so strange, why are you the one here watching? I don't know. I could get you on to talk Premier League, but I feel your dreams are the only place you'll see. Like, rude, harsh, not on, unacceptable. The saying without arguments with fools, you'll never win. Yeah, there is that. Just my thoughts. You see, I loved your thoughts. I think this makes you look unprofessional a bit better, if I'm honest. Should have just reached out, spoken to KG. This is sad. I've said many times throughout this stream that, like, it's not personal. I'm not particularly bothered. Like, I just can't comment in a chat. It's not a problem. I was using it as a jump-on conversation for, one, what my policy on, like, blocking people and banning people is going to be going forwards, and what the lines are, because if people know the strict sort of lines of this is a ban, this isn't a ban, sure, you know what you're doing. It's effectively like guidelines for how to behave in a chat, you know? It was a opportunity to do, look, this is what the internet is for. A wider conversation on why that is increasingly not the point, including the social media stuff. And in addition to that, I just thought it'd be an interesting way of going, KG, if you want to talk Bamford, I'm here to talk Bamford. If you don't, that's fine. It's not a personal thing or anything. And you can think it looks unprofessional, and that's fine. That's okay. It's just, I thought it'd be an interesting thing to discuss, you know? How do you beat someone who uses subjective truth as objective truths? How do you mean? I don't know. Clip took a while, but got there. Hey, what do members get on the channel? Wow, an opportunity to shill. So basically, when I do videos, I tend to record them in advance. So the night before, I'll publish at like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and members get early access to all of those from the time of upload to the time of release. So it's about 7, 8 hours of accessibility, which is nice. In addition to that, I'm considering doing some members-only streams and stuff. Planning on some member polls to sort of decide things like direction on channel, thumbnail stuff like that. Maybe, yeah, all sorts of bits and bobs. But that's the general gist. That I'm looking on expanding a little bit more recently. Where are we? Is Bam Bamford talk? You should have known that. I very rarely hop into his channel. And to be fair, he was talking about Bamford. How am I not meant to be like, we can't talk Pat Bamford? You're talking about Pat Bamford. That's why I was a little bit confused. Can confirm you've received your 5K. You do. You get 5K Joe Bucks. The only issue is the limit of the amount of Joe Bucks that anyone that isn't me can have is 5,000. So you can never get above 5,000. And the amount that you need to redeem something in Joe Bucks is 5,003. So I'm sure there's a way you can work it out. Thank you, by the way, for the super sticker, and thank you for the gift membership. That's really appreciated. And it's gone to CH or Ch or I don't know. You're gonna have to let me know how to pronounce that one. But Wayne, you are fantastic. Thank you very much. There's little slide digs that cut the deepest that say more about them than you. I empathise with you, Joe. I mean, I've not even been slyly digged, and I hope I've not done slyly digging, because in that case, I apologise. But it's just sort of, yeah, you know. On this one, I ain't gonna be supporting Kiko Casilla when everything that was going on at that time suggested there was a bad thing. I'm not gonna dive headfirst into that one because that's daft. On a light note here, glad to hear Spain's plans for Mateo Joseph things go well. We could be sitting pretty a few years from now. I think so. And I think in terms of Spain, the number 9 offering isn't fantastic and has never been fantastic. Well, it was in the past, but it hasn't been in recent years. And I think having Mateo in there, if he's able to grow as we think that he might grow, will be fantastic, brilliant, wonderful. But up to that point, yeah. 1 second. At some point, I have to start cooking for the wife. We're going to have a lovely stew today, and it's going to be delicious. Philip Bamford could score 30 season. The fans would still say he can't finish. I mean, he did 17 in the Premier League, you know. No, but that's the thing. At that point, you can just ignore the chat. Like, it's okay. People have the right to speak. You have the right to not listen. If that makes sense. Someone said you were strange. That was, oh right, I get you. Sorry, I'm forgetful. Okay, and ADHD medication's a nightmare. Sign him to 100 million release clause. Imagine we do that. I feel like we probably don't get that done. I feel like we offer him that contract and he goes, no. I feel like that wouldn't help us either, because we'd get stuck to that valuation, and if we sell below the release clause, everyone would lose their heads a little bit, and it's like, he's not going to be a £100 million player, I don't think. Which I don't know. Sorry, I think it's just buttons. Oh, thank you, Wayne. Sorry, there was a batch of messages there that I hadn't quite seen, including Mr. Dodo. The PS5 Pro's been announced at $800. What? What? Why? Oh, I'm gonna have to find the news article on this because I don't want a PS5 Pro. Especially at $800. Ooh, 60 frames per second. Every PC can do that now. More ray tracing. Okay. AI upscaling. Fuck's sake. Backwards compatibility. Wi-Fi upgrade. £700. No, that's a horrible deal. No, that's dreadful. No, thank you. You're okay. You're good. No, we cool. I don't want one of that point. When I'm running my Twitter, I reached out to multiple creators in the lead space challenger. Oh, thank you. I'm just happy to help people with things, you know. It's what I do. Where were we? 800 euros. That's weird. Yeah, $700, but €800. Why is it more expensive in Europe for the same product? Stupid Sony. Stupid. Not that much, as far as I can tell. Also, it's saying to do the ads thing again. So you know the drill. Best way to get back is click on the ad, swipe backwards. It'll take you back to this video. And the only person with any form of downside is the advertiser who has to pay more money. So 1 second. Do they have a release course code you were asking for a friend? I imagine no. It's very weird that Bamford doesn't, considering sort of the era of contracts that happened. But I feel like someone would have maybe considered signing him by this point. Cool. Isn't that nearly double the cost of PS5 OG? It feels like it. Yeah, it's not affordable, is it? No idea who KG is, but if you can ban people from a YouTube channel, then so be it. He'll probably ban himself out of existence. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, where if all you're going to do is ban folks, then it's like, well, you're not like helping anyone with anything there. You're sort of slowing yourself down a touch. Because you can't grow your bubble if every time something comes near your bubble, you say, this is my bubble. I don't understand. I don't get it. Oh, that'd be so funny. I'm going to prepare a thumbnail for that. I don't know when it's happening. I don't know if it's happening, but I'm getting a thumbnail ready for if Bamford gets a new contract. That'd be so funny. I put my 7-year-old Xbox One. Yeah, I don't know how old my PS5 is. I kind of prefer the PS5 to Xbox because I made the move over to the PlayStation ecosystem, and I kind of prefer it. Let me get this straight. You've been banned from someone's channel for talking about what Bamford was it? Yes, I disagreed, and it was not appreciated. Which again, within his rights, I just don't understand it. And I used it as a jumping off point for various bits about social media and stuff. It was great. I tried to be smooth with my segue, but Football Guru tends to know things. The new contract offer is on reduced terms. This I completely get because he's no longer an England international. He's no longer. I'm liking that little bit of curl. There we go. He's no longer the 17 goal a season Premier League striker, but he's still decent. That's okay. That's fine. Sometimes people with a bit of power it's not that much of a power though. That's the thing. It wouldn't be funny joining Leeds. That he will be taking a pay cut. He will absolutely be taking a pay cut because we're in the Championship, and that's how this works. I'd love to have people support my channel no matter what I talk about, but banning people because I talk about them. But yeah, basically. On the note of pointing people towards channels, and this one I'm going to be shilling on the behalf of someone else. It's great. I'm going to point you over in the direction of a friend of the channel, to Crystal, who is a San Francisco 49ers fan. We're doing weekly podcasty things. Is currently on 733 subscribers because the American football season has begun again. She's back doing things and content and stuff now. So I would hugely appreciate if you could click on the link that I've just popped in the chat and just subscribe and say hello. Maybe, I don't know, comment the word pigeon on a video because you lots of nutters. But I think it would be good to get as many people that are friends of the channel and in the space to that limit that they need to hit to get monetized. Just because, like, YouTube's tough, you know? YouTube is difficult, and YouTube is very tiring a lot of the time. So it helps to sort of support people going forwards. In addition to that, Evie's channel's there. She's currently on 299 subscribers. As much as I think staying on 299 is funny, you could help it tick over to 300. It's a single click. It's very easily done. So get on that. And also, I appreciate you guys just in general, because it's nice to have this like positive community. You know. There we go, 300. Gosh. It's his channel after all. Cage's run a tight ship. I like his content, but can come across as being a tad biased. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, it's a disagreement on sort of one, that mentality, and two, sort of the role of a chat in the first place. Because if a chat is just there to agree with you, then odd. Only last season the stats from Bamford's favour according to yours and mine chat. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, sure. Sorry, I only had those because I had them in my notepad on Windows. I hate that I searched Danny Talks Sport and it comes up with Danny Murphy on Talksport. That's not. It's so annoying. And yeah, whilst like the stuff might have just generally sort of been in his favour last season rather than other seasons, we're talking recency though. That's why. That's why I used those stats, because like he didn't do anything last season. That's why I picked those numbers. Not true. About 50% of 70,000 a week, which brings it down to 35 because he had a wage reduction in his contract. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Danny. Also, subscribe to Danny. Danny's great. Is the link for Evie's YouTube channel? It's the one above that it says Discourse of Peacocks. Is this one? And it's very much what. Come on, words. You could do this. You could do this. Yeah, it's worth a subscribe because, as far as I'm aware, video coming very soon. I'm glad you asked. Just going to make sure I get the numbers right. So, considering players that have played a representative number of minutes, so we'll say a tenth of the season, we played 49 league matches, we'll say 590s. I've got to pop back to last season, 1 second. Yeah, so for players with at least 590s in all competitions, this is going to take a moment because FP Ref tends to run slowly. Cool. Players with at least 590s in all competitions. Patrick Bamford was Leeds United's top scorer in the division. with 0.5 goals per 90, followed by Crescencio Somerville on 0.49. So if Somerville scored plenty of goals, then you tell me. Junior Firpo assist. Has Junior Firpo just gotten an assist? What? What? They're playing now? Oh, why are they playing now? This is such a weird time. Oh, it'll be like a noon kickoff. Okay, cool. I lost track of the time. That's on me. I'll take that one. That's my bad. But Berto Carlos doing his thing. Right. Counterpoint. You may have the eye test, right? And that's okay. That's fine. Eye test is all good. Better than the eye test is results, right? So you'd want some results, yeah? Hopping back to last season, Patrick Bamford. Let's have a look at his matches, shall we? I'm going to highlight all the matches that Bamford started last season. All of them, by the way. This isn't cherry picking. This isn't picking and choosing. This is every match that Patrick Bamford started last season. Yeah? And if I share this tab instead, add to stage. It's quite a lot of green, isn't it? It's very green. Green being win. It indicates something, doesn't it? Oh, cool. I think the criticism comes from negativity, but I swear a person remembers bad things and pick it's good. Yeah. Like, I think people have immediately forgotten that he scored, in my opinion, the goal of the season for Leeds last season. No, it's not even in my opinion. It just was. That fucking screamer against Peterborough. Oh, delish. But yeah, if you're going 3 months from the start of January to the start of April with a player starting for you and you've not lost once, well, we did lose once in total, but that's after the very beginning of April, so it's fine. Pretty good, you know? I don't know what you're talking about. That's not. I don't. That's. What? Don't get it. What do you mean? Have I been sent any messages? No. Not even a little bit. Yeah, basically this. Elbow goal coming in a close second. Yeah, I mean, no, it wasn't an elbow goal. It came off his tummy. That's what counts. Yeah, it's not even opinion. It's just fact, and that's okay. You can disagree on that. That's fine. But yeah, it depends on how much you value the other stuff, like chance creation and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, a little bit biased on that one because when it comes to 7-a-side stuff, I play as a 9, and look at me, I'm not a big strong boy, but I tend to do the movement stuff and the drawing people out stuff and the creating opportunities for other people stuff. And that's why I sort of keep an eye out for that, because it's like, right, how can I improve my game? And he's really good at that. Do stats and backs count for playing tippy? What? I mean, probably, but I don't, that's not. Is that relevant for this conversation? The specific Bamford one? I don't know. Another? Oh no, still just the one. Okay, cool. Sorry, someone popped a message in recently that it's fine. Yeah, I've not said at any point that like he should be our out and out number one, number nine. Number one, number nine. That's a weird way of phrasing that. Like it should be Mateo because he's a very, very good footballer. But no, well. That's a little bit of a scary message. Because this morning I did go to the pharmacy and I did pick up my medication. What do you know? There we go. I did, but it was his way of saying, it wasn't my elbow, ref. You see, that was it. That was all of it. Better younger and is injured less. I think Mateo's got a really high ceiling. I think in terms of pure, like, what they do right now, they're maybe level, but again, less injured, so is available a lot more. So would therefore be a first choice in my opinion. Yeah. Basically this. It's a changing of the guard. Bamford to Joseph. It makes sense. Plus, I'm a little bit naturally biased to Mateo because his surname is Joseph. And as a Joseph, you got to back your fellow Josephs. You know? Because otherwise, what are you doing? You got to back people with your own name. If you won't do it, who will? That's okay. If he's anything like Pat Bamford, he'll miss when he tries to shoot me. Score for Spain's under 21s as well. Nice finish. Very, very good to see. Yeah, it's not a critique of Bamford. He's just really, really good. Annoyingly, I think his position is a position that we don't play with. Because I think he's one of the two in a 4-4-2. He's the two that doesn't go up so much, so he can join the attack a little bit later, but we don't play in a 4-4-2, so that doesn't usually work out. In our current system, it's confusing. I don't know. Joseph isn't going to last 46 games. He's going to get a knock. It's too long of a season to rely on him. Yeah, at some point he's going to get a knock, and at some point we're going to need another striker. And if people are going to despise Piru and despise Bamford, then well done. Who's your striker? Got a choice to make. Again, Lee, I used it as a jumping off point to a wider conversation. And I literally invited KG to have a chat on the channel at some point. I just thought it's an interesting thing to talk about. As I've mentioned, there is no hard feeling. There is nothing personal. I thought it was an interesting conversation to have. I don't know. If it's not interesting, then you guys can tell me that. You guys can shout at me in the chat. If it is interesting, I'd hope that you'd let me know as well, because, you know, it's up to you. You don't have to be here. It's okay. Does your adulation cloud judgment of other players? For whom? Whose adulation are we discussing? Because it's not like when it comes to other forwards as well. It's not like when it comes to watching Mateo up top or Piru up top, it's not like I'm like, no, okay, I'm not going to pay attention to the way that they play because, as I've mentioned with the movement-y thing, I'm also watching them for that, just to see what's going on with that. And that's why at times last season I got more annoyed than normal with Piru because it's like you're not doing the movement stuff. It's ah. Yes, that was why, but I wouldn't call him a tool. He just disagrees with what the role of that is. Is Mateo my favorite? That's a question. Who's my current favorite player at Leeds? I don't know. Let's have a look. Leeds United. I'm a big enjoyer of Dan James. I like a redemption arc. So, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I forgot about Senor Firpo, the goat, the best to ever do it, the boy. It's Firpo. It has to be Firpo. It's always Firpo. Because again, I can relate to it because he's a left back that does attacking stuff. There's someone that played 7-a-side like twice. I like a box-to-box left back because I signed up to this, like, not 7-a-side, as someone that's played Sunday League twice, sorry. I like a left back because I signed up to this Sunday League team being like, right, can I be a goalkeeper? And they were like, no, we've got a goalkeeper. I was like, cool. I could do attacking bits, I can run a lot, and they were like, we know the perfect job for you. And they made me a left back. Do I look like I'm good in a tackle? No. It could be Solomon at some point. Maybe. And on this one, as I've mentioned, you can say whatever you like in the chat. I'm not someone that's for banning people or anything, but surely I've got a right to reply. If you're going to put something in the chat, then I have the right to respond to that. So that's the extent of it. Can you do the high voice for the whole show? That could be fun. Which high voice? What's... I don't know if I can. I think it'd hurt quite a lot, and to get to the high voice, I've got to like tighten up my throat, and that hurts. I could do like at most a couple of minutes, not much more though. Ow. Peru's being made into the scapegoat. Old school appreciates it. He's got good attributes. I just don't know if they fit the current system. Like on this one, he does have a big part to play. Absolutely. But I don't know if he starts. Not for me. I think he's someone that you bring on if you need someone that is... If you're getting chances, but they're just not going in, for example. I think at that point you bring on Peru because you're like, right, at some point you're going to score one of your chances because he just will. It's fine. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Keep in mind, and on this one as well, outside of hate crimes, outside of, to be clear, as Locks wonderfully described me, I am still Wokey Joe. So if there is hate criming, if there is being a dick to a fellow member of the community, let's not do that. If there is going at marginalized groups, don't do that. But yeah. Within those boundaries, sure, you're good. Does being mean to you count as a hate crime? It depends on if it's illegal. Because if it's a crime and I hate it, then maybe. But no, it doesn't. Like, a significant proportion of my streams rotates around the idea of bullying me. So just go for it. It's fine. It's doing the ads will run shortly thing, by the way. So I'm going to boop the ad button. But again, you guys know how to deal with it. Click it, swipe your way back. You'll be right back here. The only one losing out is the advertiser because fuck them. It's their choice to give YouTube their money, and I can make them give more money to YouTube, and then YouTube gives it to me, and you get back to the video sooner. So it works out, and I'm just going to press the thing now. Bosh! Yeah, it's that one. That's how you get to Evie's channel. Note for the future, Danny, by the way, you can... the link will still work if you get rid of everything after the question mark. Then it still works. Then it's all good. It's the same for most URLs, I think. Like, the question mark is just like a further detail thing rather than a you need this to get to the channel thing. So it's like stuff like tracking data. So, for example, there was one, I can't remember where, it was like Apple sharing equals true, I saw in a URL. And it's like, oh, I'm going to get rid of everything after the question mark from now on because I want to be as useless as possible to people that are trying to scrape data. Anyway, what I'm going to do, by the way, is I'm going to end the stream there. I remember of them. I don't know much of them. Washing machine target is busting. Oh, no. On this one, my thoughts are Bamford good, but willing to listen to the opinion that Bamford not good. Anyway, I do need to end the stream there because I need to quickly call Kayla as she is on the way back from work in a minute, and where she works there tend to be some dodgy amigos, so it feels a lot safer when talking to me on the phone. What are you doing for tea? I'm doing a stew. It's going to be great. But I hope you enjoyed the video, stream, either way, same thing. If you did, like, subscribe, become a channel member. That's always appreciated, especially when YouTube is being horrific. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Ta-ra.